Alright, I'd like to tell you how the assignments work. Well, most of this is self-study, but what's going to happen is we'll pair you with a mentor. And the mentor for our professional orchestration classes is Stephen Hill. Steve has a master's in composition. He is an excellent composer, and his day gig is teaching, because that's what he really loves to do. So what's going to happen is you're going to write your composition and you're going to submit it to Steve. And then Steve is going to play it, and he's going to critique it at 2 to 3 levels. The first level is for its playability. The second for its compositional soundness, and the third is how well did it reflect the piece of literature you were assigned to use as the basis for this composition. Now the next thing that will happen is if you do the work as we've assigned it, you're going to learn how to score read. And we have a whole set of exercises for you to do that, but the primary one is the one that all of us end up having to learn once we get outside of school. And that's how do you reduce a score. So what will happen is you'll take the full page score examples in the professional orchestration book, you will transpose them to concert key, and then you will reduce them to 6 staves. 2 staves for the strings, 2 for the woodwinds, and 2 for the brass, and then 1 additional line if there's any percussion in it. You'll also submit this as well. The result of going this extra step is that you develop an entire series of techniques for writing that other students won't have. But you'll have, and you'll have several dozen techniques that you'll walk away with, so that when you do sit down to write a larger score, you won't have to worry about what it sounds like. You won't have to worry if you made the right decision in what you picked. You'll have already done the work to have a good sense of where to start and how to proceed. Now, the next question is, how will you communicate with your instructor? Well, we're going to take full advantage of the internet. And the first thing that's going to happen is you'll meet him by email. We have an online form already set up for you. And you will exchange your assignments with him via email. And you'll communicate with him with our online forum already set up at alexanderpublishing.com. Then your instructor will set a time with you, even if you're an international student, where he can call you and talk with you and see how you're doing. So this way you have personal contact. And I want to emphasize our approach here is not a typical classroom approach. So if you've had a music school class, this isn't going to be like anything you've really had before. This is a mentoring approach. Our idea here is we want to coach you and encourage you and help you find your own sound and how you approach writing. Now that's a unique approach for an online class, but it's one we're committed to, and we're so committed to it, we take very few students for each of these classes. While some online situations will take 100 students, we cap it at a maximum of 10. So you want to make sure that you register early for these classes and to get in there. You'll have 1 week to make a decision whether you want to stay in the class or cancel. After 1 week, your fees are non-returnable.